Shadim Shari. Good morning. Wednesday, July 31st, last day of the month. A big day. You have a bunch of economic data in the morning. Nothing really huge, but the Fed is speaking at 2 o'clock, and that's going to be the market mover. I do not expect the Fed to cut rate. Okay. I do expect the Fed to give hint that a cut is coming in September. And I think the market is expecting the Fed to do something like that. So if the Fed fail to deliver what the market expect, it's going to be a nasty reaction. I don't know what the reaction will be. If the Fed deliver what the market expected, maybe a mute reaction. But if the Fed come out with economy is still strong, job market is resilient, consumer is still strong, resilient, blah blah blah, you know the drill. If the Fed come out with those kind of statements, we're still fearful of the inflation, it still has not come down low enough, blah blah blah, then I do expect a very nasty slap in your face reaction from the market. Other than that, I don't know if it's going to be a pop or a mute reaction. We will see. But for today and tomorrow, this fast stream is going to focus on earning reaction, on things that happen. First up, AMD came out with decent number after a very nasty week so far, right? My goodness. Since last week, since last Wednesday, it has been nothing but ugliness, okay? You got the breaking of the 200 and then came down, almost got into this support zone here, which I think is a no-brainer to buy. But look like right now, pre-market at least is up here. So if you're looking to trim, I would say have your order ready at the 200. You know, my advice to people whenever I say set an order to trim above, you can set it, it doesn't have to be exact. Okay, it doesn't have to be exactly at the 200, like 153.54. You can set it at 153, because if you want to front run all the people that are up there, if you're fearful there are so many sellers at that area where you might not get your chance, then set it a little bit below it. Now, if you think there's going to be a huge momentum push, certainly you can do a little bit greedy and set it at, say, 154, slightly above it for the overshoot, right? So, or set multiples trim order, one right below it, one on the 200, and one slight above it. So you get the best of all three. Okay, so, but the spot that I really think you should set for sure is 161 up there, okay? Right at the confluence up there, right? You get the 20, you get the 50, you get the channel low. That's going to be a lot of resistance, okay? Because once you get into the channel, it could be giddy up to way up there. But for now, I think if you want to be greedy, be up there. If you want to be safe, be down here, okay? That's simple. StarBucks, not a good earning. Terrible earning. One of the worst earning of this earning season so far, okay? You can't be flashing negative 7% year over year same store sales or whatever international. That's just ugly. Okay, I mean, but I think in after hour yesterday, it did pop. Look at that, 80. Goodness gracious. Goodness gracious. Oh, never underestimate nonsense. Okay, but right now pre-market is showing common sense. It's showing 78, which is right around where the 50 is. So if you have exposure there, and if you bought the dip in the low 70s, congratulations. Take your 10% gain, 8%, 9%, whatever it is. You take it, okay? You take it, trim some, no doubt. If you want to trim some and then have another one up there at 81 ish, 81 and a half. So there's two spot now and 81 and a half ish. Okay, I don't see. I look at the earning report. I listen to part of the conference call, and I'm just like, I'm not optimistic on anything that they think is going to be a turnaround. Um, a lot of talk. Here's why I'm not optimistic on what they say. They can say whatever they want. They can plan whatever they want. What they can't plan is a weaker consumer. Okay, is this the bottom of layoff? Is this the does anybody think that we are at the bottom for the consumer, that this is it? The consumer has been weakened for the past 3 to 6 months, and from now on, it's going to be the reversal. Does anyone think that's what we have? If you are in the camp that the consumer are going to go into a worse level because more layoff is coming, regardless of what the Fed is doing, okay? The Fed is late. Regardless of what the Fed is doing, even if he cut rates in September, you're talking September. That means that there is 2 more months of pain. Next quarter is not this coming quarter that they're going to report in 3 months. It's not going to be better. So good luck with improvement. I don't see improvement out of China. I don't see improvement in the US. So I don't buy the turnaround story. Okay, so if you're in it and you have profit, run. Next one up is of course Microsoft. Um, that was wild. That was wild. I had ordered in yesterday, okay, but it was way below down here. Okay, I was when it dipped below 180, 190. I'm just like, oh, I might buy some more, but it bounced. Okay, it bounced. The earning was good. All right, the earning was good. I mean, I look at this last night and I thought, okay, for sure it pierced through the 200, and I thought for sure 388, the ref low was the spot. That's where my order was. That was that would have been crazy if the order trigger at 388. It never got there. But wow, that was a crazy after hour. But no matter what, earning was decent. What do I do today? Um, it's tempting to sell a 400. What I probably would do is, if there is enough juice for say a 395, 390 spread, I probably would do that using the 200 as my protection. Because the earning is good. There is nothing to dislike about Microsoft number. They were bangers, okay? They were bangers, and the only concern I have is power. But overall, I like it. And if I sell a put spread down here at 395, and it is assigned by Friday, I wouldn't cry about it. Okay, I wouldn't cry about it. I think now would I buy outright a few share? at 200, yeah. Okay, if it come down here for whatever crazy reason in the 400, 401 area, yeah, I buy. That's how I like about Microsoft. Okay, that's that's my take on Microsoft. Would I trim? Well, if I see 20 MA, I trim. Can it happen today? I don't think so. Last for today, Merck. I like a lot, right? I like it a lot. I actually have three. I sold three put spread yesterday. It's up right now. Two is in the money, and I will let them assign. I scaled out completely on 300 share of FV last week, and I have no problem taking on 200 or 300 share of FV. Of Merck. I sold five uh, Merck spread yesterday. As of right now, two is in the money, and I wouldn't mind buying even 300 shares. I like what I see. I read the report, the earning report. I listened to the conference call last night before bed. I like the numbers. Um, the market beat up Merck because they cut earning per share. But here's a big but. The earning per share they cut is not because margin was bad, projected revenue was bad. No, they guided. Basically, here's one thing I always have a problem with guidance. AMD, if you read the headline, you will see many headlines out there that say that they guide up. They kind of guide up, but they didn't really guide up because, for example, I'm just throwing out example, okay? Let's say AMD expected revenue for next quarter is 6 billion, and they guided a range for next quarter to be 5.7 billion to 6.2 billion. Is that guide up? If the expected is 6 billion and they throw you a guidance of a range of 5.7 to 6.2, is that a guide up? Same thing with Merck. Okay, so Merck give a revenue guidance similar to that, where they throw out a range where it's basically a little bit lower than expected, a little bit higher than expected. That's not the problem. The problem is they knock off, I believe, 50 to 60 cents per share on the earning per share. But here's a big but. That is because they basically take the entire cost of acquisition of the company they bought last month, iBio, BioI. They bought a small biotech company for billion three, something like that. Whatever the number was, that was the write-off. And the market freaked out. Oh my God, they guide down. They reduced number on earning per share. No, that's no. They acquired. It's nonsense. The weakness in their pipeline is on two areas. One is COVID related. Seriously, nobody cares. If whether you Pfizer or any company that make COVID related medicine, nobody cares. So whatever the medicine is that Merck had for COVID, it is down year over year like 46% or whatever. It's a rounding number now. It's like $100 million in revenue last quarter compared to 200 last year and 500 2 years ago. Nobody cares. So that's one area. And the other area where they have a decline also, which is not a surprise. is I'm too lazy to look it up. It's related to it's a diabetic drug, right? Is it a surprise that weight loss drug are booming? Is there a correlation between more people using Eli Lilly, Novo Nordisk weight loss drug and less diabetic drugs? Not a surprise, but it's like I said, the rest of their pipeline number look really good. Nobody disappoint anything. Um, so yeah, I like Merck. I like what's going on there. I buy. I gladly switch over from AppV uh, to Merck because I think I do I see a 20% return in Merck compared to holding FV and get 20% return in FV going forward? The answer is I put my money in Merck, right? Um, what would I do here? Um, would I buy Merck at the gap fill? That's where I sell the other put spread, okay? Because I would if it get down to 113, then I have 400 share, and like I said, dollar wise, it's basically take the money from 300 shares of FV and put in 400 shares of Merck. Gladly do it, okay, at that kind of price at 113. So, um, otherwise, I don't mind adding to Merck going forward if it start to stabilize down here. But for now, looking like I'm gonna get myself 200 shares by Friday at 118 and 117. All right, so that's it for today. Good luck with Powell. We all need it.